Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to the Go Get Her podcast. If you are new here, it's your girl, London Britt. I'm your beautiful, extraordinary host. And if you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you all are having an amazing day right now. Sit back, chill. If you're driving, blast this because God got something to say to us today, y'all. God got something to say to us, okay? It's for me, it's for you, it's for your sister, your mother, all of us, okay? But welcome. This is episode 12, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. So let's get into it. So today, I'm gonna be piggybacking off of last week's episode, which was the last episode of the Her series, Build Her. Build a Her. Like, like Build a Bear, Build a Her. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be piggybacking off of that, right? And I'm gonna do things a little bit differently today because I've been hearing the word fire, right? For I want to say the past 2 months. Fire, 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 fire in different ways. But I've been hearing the word fire. I've been hearing it in sermons. I scrolling on Instagram. I'm hearing people talking about fire, your spirit on fire, you on fire, like just different things, but just hearing the same word over and over. So today, obviously I planned my content days and stuff. I had a whole different topic that I wanted to talk about today, but I had opened up my phone and I heard somebody talking about fire. And I said, yo, God, I keep hearing this word. Like, is this something that you want me to talk about with this? Like, why do I keep hearing the word fire? So I'm like, he want me to talk about this some way, somehow, right? So I meditate on it. I pray about it. I get into my word and I'm looking for scriptures that'll help with what I want to talk about. And boy, oh boy, like I said, there is an answer to anything we are going through or anything we want to learn about in the Bible. Like, no joke, no cap in my rap. For real, for real. When I tell you, I'm just read it to y'all. I'm going to read this and then I'm going to go into what I want to talk about. This is usually the flow that I do on Tuesday Talks. I go live once a month, every Tuesday, usually towards the end of the month on Instagram at 8 p.m. And it's like a little IG live series called Tuesday Talks. And I just talk about different topics, different life experiences. I talk about my truth, my testimonies, and just, different topics. And we just, we vibe, we chill, we interact. I listen to everybody in the comments, I answer them, things like that. So if you've never been on Tuesday Talks, join us. It's a vibe. I'm going live next week, actually, Tuesday, October 24th. And I'm going live with a special guest. I'm not going to tell you guys who, but she knows who she is. And we're going to be talking about a very good topic. So be there or be square. It's a rectangle. I got to work on that. But let's get into it. So, my boy Paul was stepping on necks, okay? My boy Paul was stepping on necks. He's talking to the people of the church, telling them, like, listen, y'all really got to follow Christ. Like, y'all are too much in the world. Y'all are trying to be like so many people in the world. Like, y'all are just living life crazy right now. So let me give y'all a little push because y'all are doing too much right now. Y'all need to follow Christ. Y'all need to be more like Christ. Y'all acting like newborn babies. Like, come on. He's stepping on their necks, right? So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Do I want to kill y'all by reading like all of this? I don't want to bore y'all, but it's like, you really gotta understand. All right, I'm gonna just start I'm gonna read up into verse verse 15. It's not long. Sounds long, but it's not. Stay with me. And the reason why I want to just give it all to you is because it's so good and you have to hear it so you understand where I'm going with it. Okay? So your boy Paul's stepping on it next. 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Let's get into it. So he says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when I was with you, I couldn't talk to you as I would to spiritual people. I had to talk as though you belonged to this world or as though you were infants in Christ. I had to feed you with milk, not with solid food." Now, if you a mom, you know how that go. I was a breastfeeding mom. You gotta give them milk for a few months. About 6-7 months to get that solid food. He's like, y'all not even ready for that. Because you weren't ready for anything stronger, and yet still aren't ready, for you are still controlled by your sinful nature. Stepping on it next. You are jealous of one another and quarrel with each other. Doesn't that prove that you are controlled by your sinful nature? Aren't you living like people of the world? When one of you says, "I am a follower of Paul," and another says, "I follow Apollos," aren't you acting just like people of the world? After all, who is Apollos? Who is Paul? We are only God's servants, through whom you believe the good news. Each of us did the work the Lord gave us. I planted the seed in your hearts, and Apollos watered it, but it was God who made it grow. It's not important who does the planting or who does the watering. What's important is that God makes the seed grow. The one who plants and the one who waters work together with the same purpose, and both will be rewarded for their own hard work. For we are both God's workers, and you are God's field. You are God's building. Pause real quick. What was we talking about last week? Exactly what I said. Brick by brick. You are the building. You are the building. God is the foundation. He's just trying to build you up. We have to build ourselves up through faith. Back to it. Because of God's grace to me, I have laid the foundation like an expert builder. Now others are building on it. But whoever is building on this foundation must be very careful. For no one can lay any foundation other than the one we already have, Jesus Christ. Anyone who builds on that foundation may use a variety of materials: gold, silver, jewels, wood, hay, or straw. But on Judgment Day, fire will reveal what kind of work each builder has done. The fire will show if a person's work has any value. If the work survives, that builder will receive a reward. But if the work is burned up, the builder will suffer great loss. The builder will be saved, but like someone barely escaping through a wall of flames. And I'm going to stop right there. Our topic for today is, will you make it through the fire? Will you make it through the fire? Let it meditate, let it sit, yo. When I was reading this, I was like, nah, he was really on their necks. He's on my neck. He's on your neck. What? Paul was not playing with them. He was not playing with them. He's like, yeah, you could do this. You could do that. You could be in your own way. Follow your own way. Ignore what God is trying to tell you. Ignore the path that God is trying to lead you on. That's fine. But will you make it through the fire? Because what makes it through the fire is going to be good. And the builder is going to receive a reward. But what doesn't make it through the fire is going to be making it out like they're escaping through a burning down building of flames. I've never escaped out of a building of burning flames, but I can only imagine how that feels. It's like you're barely making it through. Your heart is racing. Me, I'm clumsy. I probably trip and fall. Like, for real though. I can only imagine how that feels. And I don't want to know how that feels. Okay. So, will you make it through the fire? I have 2 points with that. 2 points with that. First point is during those tough seasons in your life, during those trials and tribulations, during the times where you feel like the enemy is on your back, he's on your body, he's bothering you, he's bothering your family, your friends, your mother, brother, sister, cousin, he's on your body, right? Will you make it through the fire? So during the good seasons, when everything's good, life's going great, right? That's when it's time to focus on building. That's when it's time to tap in for real, for real. Tap in to what God wants for us. We have the vision. We have the vision. A lot of us have the vision, but we ignore the signs and we get in our own way, right? We have the vision. We hear from God. Some of us hear from God in different ways, but we choose to do things our own way. We're comfortable with doing things our own way. We get distracted by life. We get distracted by people. We get in our own way because we think that God's way is not the best plan. I am speaking to myself. We think his plan is not the best plan. I'll admit it. I'm comfortable doing things this way. Doing things this way has always brought me exactly what I'm looking for. Doing things this way, I know the outcome. Doing things this way, I'm going to be good. But God is like, will that way make it through the fire? Or will it be burned up? You're going to be sad and you're going to come to me. I'm going to save you. But why do we have to go through that? Why do you have to go down that route? Why does that have to be your comfortable space? Continuously going through loss, continuously going through pain, continuously being sad, continuously being confused, continuously praying to me to forgive you for things that I forgot about already. You're disappointed in yourself because you did things your own way and not mine. I'm not disappointed. God is like, I'm not disappointed. I forgave that. I know the plan. So I already know which ways you're going to take. But I just wish that you stay with me. I just wish you stick with me and trust me. I got you. Trust my plan. I know the other side of that door that you're trying to go through. I know the other side of that door. And I don't want you to go through that door. But you're used to walking down that path and going through that door. So you think what's on the other side is greatness. But it's not. It's what God be telling me constantly, y'all. But just to get back to my point, will we make it through the fire? So are we doing the work to build ourselves up through faith? Are we doing the work to trust his plan? Are we doing the work to stay sustainable? Like I said last episode, we don't want to build up this house that looks good on the outside, but it's vacant on the inside. If you're a person that's impatient, are you doing the work to work on that? Are you doing the work? Because ultimately, that might be your only flaw, but it's a big flaw. It's a big flaw. Speaking to myself, I'm very impatient. I was saying that to myself yesterday. Yo, I'm so impatient. Like when it comes to certain things, I just immediately, I get so tight. And I'm like, why am I like this? So that's something I need to work on. And patience, right? You might have a bad attitude. Do the work. Do the work. Do the work in the good seasons, do the work in the bad seasons. Because when those tough seasons come, I'm not even going to say bad, I'm going to say tough. Because obviously, when God is trying to discipline us and get us to learn a lesson, it's not comfortable. It's hard. It hurts. It's painful. So I'm going to say those tough seasons, not those bad seasons, because those seasons happen for us, not to us. But when those tough seasons come, the work that you are doing in the good seasons will make it through the fire. It will be sustainable. You will make it through. Whether it takes 1 year, whether it takes 10 years, whether it takes a whole century, you will make it through because you're doing the work to be sustainable, to make it through the fire. So even if you get a little scrapes, even if you get a little burnt up, it's okay. You're not going to always make it through every season and every fight without any scars. But guess what? You made it through. And that's the point. Are you going to make it through the fire? So that's one point, right? The second point that I wanted to touch on is what's on the inside that is going to help you make it through the fire? What work are you doing to make it through the fire? Who is your foundation? Who is your foundation? Is it you or is it God? Jesus plants the seed. Through life, we water it. But who's helping it grow? God. So who's your foundation? Let's start from the beginning, because sometimes we skip steps. Who is your foundation? Is it you? Are you following your own path? Are you doing things your own way? Or are you trying to be more like Christ? Are you trying to follow Christ? Are you trying to be the light in the darkness? Get out of the darkness. We got to be uncomfortable in darkness. Some of us are okay in toxicity. Some of us are okay in pain. Some of us are okay being sad. Some of us are okay living day by day, just going with the flow. That stops now. Yeah, that stops now. We're not being comfortable in darkness. We need to get uncomfortable in darkness. We need to follow the light because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But if you just cruise, if you just not even cruising, if you just chilling, taking it one day at a time, thinking that, oh yeah, I know there's a light there. I know it's coming. I'm gonna get there. No. Light that fire, baby. Light that fire. And I hope you have people around you that'll light that fire when you can't light that fire. Because sometimes we are so low and we are so comfortable being in the darkness that we don't want to light our own fire. So I pray that you have people around you that will light that fire. If it's not your friend, I hope you have a family member. If it's not your family member, I hope it's your man or your whatever. I hope you have a circle around you that'll light that fire for you. When life blows it out, I hope you have somebody who will light that fire for you. It's important. Light it up. Light it up. It's time to light it up. We're too comfortable in darkness. We're too comfortable with how things are going. We need to be tapped in and we need to follow the plan of Christ, not our own way. We cannot get everything that our heart desires by doing things our own way. We have to walk in faith. Faith makes things possible. It's not easy. It's not easy following what you don't know. It's not easy following what you don't see on the other side. It's not easy doing things not knowing the outcome. It's not easy, but faith makes it possible. So we have to stay faithful. We have to stay prayed up. If you haven't been in your word, get into it. If you don't know how to start, I want you to comment and let me know where you're struggling. What are you struggling with? Do I need to pray more? Do I need to read? Like, what is it? Let's support each other. This is what this is about. Go Get Her is woman empowerment. We're helping each other. You never know what you might say in a comment. Somebody else may be struggling with, and they may feel comfortable talking to you about it. You never know. You never know. Light that fire. Light that fire. If you've been in a space where you're uncomfortable You're confused, you're sad, you're frustrated, you're upset. You're just like, I don't like how life is going. I don't know if I'm going left. I don't know if I'm going right. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I was doing things this way. It's not working out anymore. Yeah, yeah. Let's light that fire. We want to be sustainable and we want to make it through the fire. So remember, Jesus plants the seed through life, building ourselves up through faith. We water it, but God is the one who is going to help us grow to go get her, to become better versions of ourselves, to be better buildings. God is the only one that can do that. But us watering it is us following his path, us following what he wants us to do, not what we want to do. Someone asked me today at work, oh my God, what did she ask me? So we're short staffed, right? So I'm just that person that like takes initiative and I'm like, listen, all right, we got to do this, we got to do that, right? And she's like, I like this. Like, I like this. Like, you're such a fresh breath of air. And you watch this, so I'm sure you know who I am, who I'm talking about. But she was like, I like this. Like, this is just like such a breath of fresh air. Like, you should be the. I'm not gonna say it, but pretty much, she was just saying like she likes how it is with me, like taking initiative and me taking things and kind of taking control, right? When things are like all over the place. And I said to her, I said, this is just me. Like, this is how I am. Like, I like to help out when I can, where I can. And I'm very organized person, a very detail oriented person. Like, these are things that God has instilled in me. I was born with it. But through life, I watered it through experience, through jobs, just life experiences in general. I watered it. So now it's at a place where it's second nature. And we're making it through the fire, literally at work, because it's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? I've been stress free. I've been stress free. Stress free. It's crazy. It's hectic. We're short staffed. People are complaining. We have irate patients. But I'm calm. My spirit is calm because I'm like, listen, we can only do but so much. Like, we can only do but so much. So I'm not going to stress myself out. I'm going to lean on God. I go into work. I pray, God, get me through this day. Cover us all. Like, my whole spiel. And I leave it at that. That's it. And guess what? We're making it through the fire because my foundation is God. Not, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're short staffed. We got this, we got that. Baby, what gets done, and that's it. We do our best, we put our best foot forward, and we take the day by storm, and that's it. That's it. Can't stress what we can't control. So that's just one example. But I promise you guys, if you look at life that way, and you really sit back, and you observe, and you reflect, and you're like, will I make it through the fire? With how my life is going, with how I'm moving, with how I'm handling things, with how I'm reacting to things, will I make it through the fire? Or will I barely be making it out like someone escaping from a burning down building? What did he say? Let me run it back. My guy Paul. My good guy Paul. Anyone who builds on that foundation may use a variety of materials: gold, silver, jewels, wood, hay, or straw. So we can do things our own way. Baby, God, he's a gentleman. But on Judgment Day, fire will reveal what kind of work each builder has done. So let's not be lazy. Let's not be lazy. Like I said, we have the vision, but we ignore it. Or we're scared, we're fearful, we're doubtful. You're like, all right, God, I know you told me to do this, but I don't know. Like, how's that going to work? I'm scared. I'm fearful that it's not going to work out. We don't do that. We're not doing that anymore. Okay? We're trusting God's plan. When we hear Him, instant, we're moving. Light the fire. Even if you're nervous, light the fire. Because guess what? He's with you every step of the way. You're not alone. You're not doing anything alone. You scared? Talk to Him about it. You fearful? Talk to Him about it. You doubtful? Talk to Him about it. He will get you through. He will get you through. But on Judgment Day, fire will reveal what kind of work each builder has done. The fire will show if a person's work has any value. Let me say that again. The fire will show if a person's work has any value. Make sure what you're doing while you're building yourself up to become a better version of yourself has value. Make sure you are living by the fruits of the Spirit. It's so important. It's not easy, but it is worth it. Okay? If the work survives, that builder will receive a reward. But if the work is burned up, the builder will suffer great loss. The builder will be saved, but like someone barely escaping through a wall of flames. We don't want that for ourselves. We don't want that for ourselves. Okay? I'm just gonna go with the Holy Spirit and go with what He just put on my heart. There's a lot of things out here for women empowerment, right? Books, classes, seminars, podcasts. All of that is great. But let your foundation be God. Don't look up to these people, these celebrities. Doesn't even have to be a celebrity, but I'm just throwing that in there. Don't look up to these people. Don't look at these people and say, oh, well, if they're doing this and they got that, they're good. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Let the foundation be God. Attend that seminar. Take what you can from it. Apply it to your life and your lifestyle. But let the foundation be God. I'm laughing because they're going through it out there. But let the foundation be God. Sermons you hear on Instagram as you're scrolling, seminars, podcasts, books, take it and let it be tools to help you water. Remember, Jesus plants the seed. Through life, we water. God helps us grow. So we have to focus on God. We have to keep God as the center. We have to keep Him as the center. Even if you fall short, even if you fall off, bring it back. And remember that God is the center. This was really good. And this helped me a lot. And I know this episode is a little bit longer than we usually do, but I had to get this out. And if you're here to the end of this episode, I love you so much. But I will let you guys go. I will see you next week, of course. And I hope that you join me for Tuesday Talks next week. Remember, October 24th, Tuesday, IG Live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But yeah, so your homework, as you know, you always get homework. Your homework is look back, sit back, Get in a quiet, still place and reflect and look at your life and ask yourself, will I make it through the fire? Am I strong enough to make it through the fire? Question I also have for you guys, because obviously it's just me talking to you guys, and when the video's up, you can comment. But I do have a question. Would you guys like for me to make an email, and you guys could email me like questions or things that you want to like talk about, and then during each episode I can read your email? Like, I can choose maybe two, obviously if they're not too long, I can choose two questions or anything like that. So let me know if that's something that you guys would like to do, because I thought about that and I said that might be cute. Give you guys an opportunity to like reach out to me. If you're not comfortable like commenting, maybe you can email me and ask me a question and I can answer it for you on the episode. So let me know if that's something that you would be interested in doing, and I'll work on it. But I love you guys again. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for rocking with me thus far, and I will see you next week. Love you guys. Bye.